What's up, people lovers? WTF happened in 2023 February. And even today with a double feature for clip of the month, simply because we were so blessed this month. And we will just quickly jump into it. TTL, T90s Titans League, second season. Basically 48 players that can move up and down depending on their placements. And there were a lot of upsets here, especially in Platinum League, which is the first league. We had ACCM dominating his group, Yo, Hera, and Viper all winning their groups. And then we have two people that get relegated into the Gold League, that is the second league there. Big upsets, obviously. Vince is the last year's champion, falling there, winning a lot of home maps, really helped him stay in there. Capwatch, big person falling. Cito Sebastian, like the groups were obviously super tough. Also, one of the biggest names dropping down is MBL after losing 3-0 against Draken. Draken could hold up himself, and Back T even making a top 12 performance. And then we had this bracket in the end, Viper going through and winning the whole thing against Hera Lyri, another banger of a semi-final. But also Gold League, the second league there with some upsets. For example, Slam, who is considered to be a crazy strong player, not going through. Also, something with Slam that I didn't actually have on my list that we will talk about later. Freaking Andy going through, and Sobek going first as well. Quite a surprise. Dogao, funny thing in Group C, that was actually the very last match, Song Song against Neely. If the decider is won, Song Song is relegated. Neely becomes second. In the end, Song Song won the important decider. And Vivi goes through match score over series score here. And that means first ones, Freaking Andy, Sobek, and Dogao move up. And then we have the remaining deciders. And Lux Classic Pro Daniel Magugo will play Platinum League next season. Which brings us to NAC 4. Massive tournament, obviously, happening. Where do I put? Okay, I had that order. And two big storylines there. You already know that it's happening right in March, 11th till 19th. Tournament where all the people come together and basically players casting, yada yada. Excitement is pretty big. We had 4 invited players, and qualifiers allowed Yo, Willis, ACCM, as well as Jordan and Nikov and Vinicius to go through. Doubt not qualifying there with 2 eliminations in the last round, 4-3 losses both times, completely heartbroken. Also MBL not going through, didn't even make it into round of 6s there. Also big storyline there is that I completely failed to attract enough sponsors, and therefore the prize pool had to be cut from $100,000 to $50,000. Support from the community has been absolutely great. I feel super relieved after the announcement. Before that, it felt kind of shady. Like I knew it some days before I announced, and qualified players kind of knew it as well. And now really looking forward, people's excitement is through the roof. Qualifier had peaking slightly above 20,000 viewers at the same time for the Nikov versus Stout qualifier. So excitement is already there, and yeah, happening next month. Also, some info from a very big tournament organizer, namely EGCTV. The brain behind it, Pesty, the greatest host Age of Empires 4 scene has, and he's hard carrying the scene for like multiple months, if not from basically the beginning, so 15, 16 months now. And he actually made a really long post how tough times have been for him, how much he's trying to work together with players, but it kind of feels like it is players against tournament organizers. And he made a long post that was like really got close to me as well, and kind of put a question mark on the future of EGCTV, and a bit of a question mark on like how involved he will be, right? He did a lot, and then there was like the biggest content creator in Age of Empires 4 is right now, BCQD probably, heavily criticizing the tournament, and yeah, communication wasn't there. It was a really long post, but I think if you want to have some more idea on how much pressure tournament organizers have and how much, how tough it is, maybe that could be a good read for you. He also mentions me and how cringy my N4C post was there. But all in good understanding. Some other bad news. Nations Cup is happening, which is not the bad news. And obviously, as you know, like crazy amount of players there, crazy amount of attraction, and we will see 32 teams in the bracket stage. Big favorites there, Finland and China. Now we are playing down to 16. I'll make a dedicated video about the teams and such once we hit the round of 16. And that will be like end of March, kind of. And yeah, once we get into the group stage, I will explain to you what matches to look out to. And there has been one major upset. And China A losing to Vietnam A. And I've been very critical of a certain player called Song Song. I talked about previous WTFs before. I will heavily advocated that he should not be allowed in tournaments anymore, and criticized Warlords and TTL publicly for it. He was not allowed to play NAC4. He was not allowed to play TGM. Was not allowed to play Red Bull Vololo Legacy. And, well, he is allowed a Nations Cup. And there was a situation where Vietnam players had really bad internet connections and they had to restore a game. And after the game is basically ending, you can see the full screen. Basically, the gentleman's agreement and like what a lot of people think is moral, like I shouldn't get more information than I would in a normal game. He, though, took that time, and basically scanned through the map and looked at the build-ups, the strategy of the opponent. That looks like around like 10, 11 minutes into the game, maybe 9.5, something like that ballpark. And a lot of people felt like that was very, very unmoral. And yeah, now obviously the big question, how do you handle this? The admins are on it, they are discussing it. I would assume a decision with this, I think it only happened yesterday or something, or like some days ago. Admin decision within 24 hours. I will keep you updated. We'll write it down below. And then you know what came from it. I'm just shocked that he is allowed into this tournament. But okay. Then let's quickly add the Slam news. Slam is not longer part of Gamer Legion. And Gamer Legion's official statement for that was, I believe, like, super talented player. And we wish him all the best. There were no, like, oh god, what am I clicking here? Gamer Lion? No, Gamer Legion. Today's Slammer you Gamer Legion part ways. Sad to see you leave, but excited about what the future holds for such a talented player. Wishing you all the best in your next chapter, and thanks for all the excitement you brought to the team. And that's it from the official statement. Obviously, lots of people already realized that Slam kind of drifted away from the team. Results weren't there anymore. And yeah, it is so sad, right? I love the guy, but missing all those events obviously didn't like make him feel more involved into GL. And it is sad. I would have really liked to have him as a core member of GL. Yeah, but okay, let's move over to clips of the month, and we have a double pack for you. I will just send it. I don't need to explain the clips anymore. Jordan against Mr. Yo, and Mr. Yo has redemption. Let's take a look at what Jordan thinks about that and how he handles the situation.
He has redemption.
Look at Jordy. That's just like the reaction on his face is ridiculous. The smiley guy. The smiley guy for sure. And then there is another big thing, namely Tado playing. And he's playing Michi, a map where you can't access the opponent. and he's playing Bengalis and built 178 town centers. And as you know, the moment you advance to the next age, you get +2 villagers.
Verde tienes como 60 de escrito parado.
¿Yo?
El verde.
Voy para allá, voy para allá.
¡Oh!
Faltan carretas.
¡Dios! ¡Madre mía! ¡Madre mía!
Carreta.
Okay, 114 town centers. But look at the jump. Holy moly.
Voy para allá, voy para allá.
¡Oh!
Faltan carretas.
¡Dios! ¡Madre mía! ¡Madre mía!
Carreta.
Look at all those town centers. So crazy. And yeah, the game later looked a bit like this. Like, as you can see.
¿Alguien dice ahora?
Look at the food income. And he was fully slinging this whole game.
Puedo dar un poco.
And yeah, he had a good time. Said Tito. Yep, clip of the month. And now let's think about the look ahead. We have in March basically 3 tournaments happening. It is NAC, probably kind of the main event that might overshadow a lot. And 11th to 19th of March, $50,000, all the greatest players. And then we have Nations Cup, obviously still running. We are getting deep into the group stage, first bracket stages then as well. And $10,000 Rage Forest tournament, Black Forest tournament 4v4, where we have 16 captains and they draft their players a bit like in school. Heavy fan favorite tournament that will start very late in March, so I probably will update you next episode. That's it from me. Goodbye. Table lovers.